You're listening to the Untitled Car Show in partnership with RightFootDown.com. Visit RightFootDown for your daily automotive fix. If you enjoyed today's program, please tell a friend. It's the best way to support this show. If you want to visit the archives, go to YouTube and search for Untitled Car Show. That'll bring you to the archived episodes. If you want to follow the show, just search for Untitled Car Show on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can always send an email to the show at untitledcarshow@rightfootdown.com. We're so glad you decided to spend the next hour or so with us. Without further ado, let's get into today's program. Because that's what it does. All right, and there we go. So, hello and welcome to the Untitled Car Show. I am joined this evening by a plethora of, I guess, what's the proper plural, like, of opposite lock person? Is it oppos? Opposite nuts? Like, what is the proper plural?
Oppos?
Oppos? Yes, a plethora of oppos. And
Nut.
I guess. So,
a gaggle.
A gaggle? I was kind of hoping for like a murder of oppos.
Like a mess.
A mess of
mess of
oppos?
oppos.
Yeah, that works.
Crash. No, that's bad.
An oil stain of oppos. Maybe that's.
Free as apples.
Let's see here. I enjoy. So I'm just kind of sitting here going, this is the biggest one. So first and foremost, I hope you all went out and bought your T-shirts. If not, shame on you. Shame. Go get your Untitled Car Show T-shirt. That goes for everyone who's listening too. So go
I'm
to
broke now.
so go to trackmonkeyapparel.com and go scroll down the page and hit shop now, and then you can see and buy all the Untitled Car Show piece of merchandise. So yeah, thank you all for joining me this evening. It's fun. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So let's see, what is the biggest piece of car news that has come out in the last month? Would you say? See, this is.
I would say O.J. Simpson's release today.
Yeah, I guess that qualifies as car news because that's Bronco related.
Everyone's talked about the Bronco all day.
Yep.
I'll say it's Polestar going all electric.
Yeah, that's shocking to me.
Or Volvo going hybrid.
Yeah. But at least we maybe might get a Polestar coupe. So are we excited about that?
Absolutely.
Sure. It'll be electric.
Yeah.
I'm not excited on working on them, but you know how that is.
Yeah, I guess we should introduce ourselves so everyone knows who we're talking to here. So I will try and do my best little roll call here of everyone. So we have E.L. Yuli. Say hello.
Presente. Hello, everybody.
Mm-hmm. He's the Spanish correspondent. We have the Crazy Canuck, I believe, is here with us.
Yep. How's it going?
Excellent. That is Dylan over there. And then we have DC3LS, right?
Yep, that's me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have wonderful group chat thing where we get to do this. And then Jacob, I don't know what your opposite log handle is.
I'm Oppo's resident Toyota guy.
Oh, okay. You're the one.
I'm the one.
Yeah, and then B-Man.
Let's just start with the Toyota engine codes right now.
That always happens.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll counter with Honda engine codes. How about that?
I'm just going to leave it. You can all have it to yourself. I'll just go back down and watch Westworld with the wife while all of you do whatever the hell it is. Engine code talk. I'm not even getting into it. And then I think that's everyone who's in for the evening. Maybe. Oh, and then Jack Does Cars is with us as well, right?
And me. Yeah, just ignore me. That's fine.
Okay, who did I miss?
And me.
Who did I miss here?
B-Man 76.
Oh, I thought I said
And
that.
Interstate 366.
Okay. See, there's too many people. It's too many. So who has the worst engine code then? I guess we'll just go right into that. Is there a company that has the worst engine code? Is there a crap engine code? Is there something that spells out something naughty that we should all be ashamed of for doing? Or
with the old Volvos, you used to get a check engine light for your radiator, because the old radiators had the catalyst material built into it, the primer, that would basically clean the air as you drive. And there was a little sensor on the radiator, so if you get that code, you get a check engine light and the repairs to replace the radiator, which is kind of weird.
That is very weird.
It's weird because it's a catalyst material on the radiator that fails. It basically gives you a catalyst efficiency code, which is weird, on the radiator. So, of course they would do that.
That is very weird.
Everyone loves a PO420.
Yeah, basically almost like that, but for your radiator.
Yeah, so who makes the best engine right now, then? Since we're talking about worst engine, who makes the best engine? Nissan?
A Nissan. I'm biased.
Do not say me. No. Nissan is making one of the crappiest cars on the market, and I live 5 minutes from the headquarters. It is awful.
Did they talk about that compression engine there, mate?
I know a guy who works for Nissan. He's like,
you mean that thing that's going to break about 15 minutes after they build it? That variable compression thing? That's just going to be a mess.
Nissan has lost their touch in the last 5 years. The late 2000s were fantastic. Like a 2007 M35, one of the best vehicles you can buy to this day. Anything past that is just not good at all.
Here's the thing, I won't even call Crazy Canucks Juke a bad thing. Like, honestly, right now, that's one of the bright spots in Nissan's lineup. And that's how pathetic the rest of the Nissan lineup is that the Maxima and the Altima, like, the styling is...
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what the
that's
hell
not really saying a lot.
Yeah. Well, as long as you can understand me, that's all that matters.
I kind of understand some of what he's saying now, whereas... The last word I heard was something about a cable.
Yeah, that wasn't on my end, though, so I don't know what that was about a cable. So.
Jake, you said you were asking about car recommendations?
Yep.
I'm going to let you all do it, so just, you all go. When I start making sense, then I'll just chime in. So
that's next endeavor. Second next endeavor.
I'd say ISF.
All right. So what are you looking for?
So my first big issue is I'm buying a house probably in the next 2 months. So that'll be the first hit. But the house we're looking at right now has a garage and space for 2 cars, which is perfect because I do not want to sell the Lexus. It costs me $15 a month to insure on top of the wife's RX. It's like not even worth selling the car.
As I continue to troubleshoot, you all just talk amongst yourselves if you can even understand what the hell I'm saying.
So, 200, probably 230. That's about it. Probably in like that 25 to 30 range.
El Camino.
How about like a Lotus Elise? Could find.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
They're all like
not anymore. I mean, like.
Lotus Elise is from midget.
About an IS 250?
Well, so the IS 250 is not enough horsepower for what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I think those are right at 200. Because my original thought was a. So this is kind of where my train of thought's gone. Started with an FRS on an FRS or an 86, and then it kind of went to BRZ, and then it went from BRZ to WRX, and right now it's between a WRX. And I talked to Tom at Parlin. I'm probably going to use him to help me find a car once I go for it. But he recommended a 228i. So I have a test drove one, but I really liked the WRX. and I'm probably going to test drive the BMW just for giggles.
Greenland.
How about an EcoBoost Mustang?
Should have had a V8. That's my problem with that.
Well, the only reason I asked that is because I just saw a Ford car.
Yeah.
God,
I've thought
EcoBoosts
about
are
it, too.
so fast. They're ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, so I've thought about the Mustang, but it's already a mental block for me to do a BMW. The Subaru is kind of a natural progression from Toyota. Toyota does own a good chunk of Subaru last time I checked, so it was kind of an easy transition. But like even the BMW is kind of like a heart stab, and I don't know if I could actually do a Ford other than I'm gonna test drive Saldana's Stage 3 ST next week during lunch. So
Wait, isn't
How
he
about
the guy? Isn't he the guy that refuses to sit in a Honda until McLaren gets a podium?
I don't know. Is he? Saldana is from Nashville. There's three of us.
There's some guy on Oppo who's said many times he refuses to even sit or be a passenger in a Honda until McLaren gets a podium.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Saldana. There's three Nashville Oppos, and we all live within 10 minutes of each other. And it's Saldana, TYS Magic, and then me.
Yeah, Toyota owns 16% of Subaru.
Yeah.
To say congratulations, I think I live less than 100 yards away from Jake. So.
Yeah.
And if you're talking,
I figured.
I have a suggestion. Why aren't you looking at GTI if you're looking to spend $25,000 and get 220 horsepower?
Because I will never, ever, ever own a Volkswagen.
Okay, that's okay. I hear that all the time.
Oh, here's one. Here's a semi-serious one. R32 GTR. It's got the power you want, and you'll be Oppo famous in no time.
So, my buddy's trying to convince me. My problem is that I've already got a 20-year-old Japanese car.
Would you do like a Porsche Boxer, like a Porsche Cayman?
So I think the only Porsche Boxers or Caymans that I could afford are not in good condition or are going to be the ugly first gens.
That's fair.
So here El Camino's your answer. It's got more practicality than anything.
I already have an old car. I need a new one.
How about importing a JZX90 Chaser?
I already have a 20-year-old Japanese car. That's my problem.
Yes, but it'll have like 30,000 miles on it.
I know. My dad's already working on, I think, we had a tech leave and they just hired one that starts tomorrow. So maybe in the next 6 to 8 months, he wants to import a Century. So I'll get my taste of right-hand goodness. But I need something that I can, like, kind of daily drive. And the other thing is my wife's got to sign off on it. And, like, right now she's already iffy about the WRX, even though I really like it. Because everybody vapes and wears flat rim cats. And I'm incorporating
How about a last generation Civic Si with a supercharger?
Nah.
Ooh.
WRX costs an arm and a leg to insure, by the way.
For me, it's $100 a month.
Just go back to the FRS. So, I mean, it's rear-wheel drive. You can do all the drifts you want. And it's got a good and bad.
Interesting. The FRS and the WRX will cost me exactly the same to insure.
That makes sense, actually.
But you know what?
But a Miata will cost me half the price. Miata will cost me $50 a month to insure.
But then there'll be another.
Yes, but
whether you like it or not.
It won't be in your horsepower range.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I was kind of wondering. Because what does a Miata run? Just over 200? Or are they under 200?
A Miata runs 155 horsepower.
Well, that's way low.
I think, did the Mazda Speed NB even get 200, or was it like 210?
It was turbocharged, and it was still less than 200 horsepower.
That's just
And
sad.
the Mazda, in the NB Mazda Speed can't even do 125 miles an hour.
There's the gearing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, looking like a WRX or 228 is kind of my answers at this point.
No. You need some yin in your yang. You need a fast American car, like a 90s Camaro or something, to balance out your old Japanese.
Actually, whoa. What about a last gen 1M?
So I think those are like
he's not made of money, Blake.
No. What I'm asking, but after the M2 came out, haven't those started to drop off?
The 1M is
No,
worth
they're holding
more
their value.
now. 1M is worth
The
more
1M
now.
is perfection.
Really? No, I
1M
know.
is
I thought that the M2 kind of
the
killed that
one.
off a little bit.
The 1M in California is worth almost exactly what people paid for it new.
What
That's
about a
awesome.
Fiesta ST?
Wait, what?
Fiesta
So
ST?
the Fiesta ST is.
Huh?
So
Hey,
I
you
was
can
saying
understand
that
me.
Our
Hey.
Saldana is going to let me drive his stage 3. It's got every bolt-on imaginable, plus wheels and tires, plus exhaust, plus everything. So I'm going to test drive that and see. My wife's RX kind of left me with a bad taste in my mouth because that actually has almost 300 horsepower. But getting on the freeway, it scared the heck out of me because I gunned it and it grabbed the wheel and turned it like 10 degrees while I was doing 50. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like front wheel drive. Cause I've always driven rear wheel drive. Even like it's not manual. I just thought a GS 350 would be awesome, but nope.
Mm.
What about a 370Z?
Ew.
No.
Insurance on those are crazy.
What about a crowd
Honestly,
control
ain't too
device
much
like
for
a
an old
Mustang?
car.
So I couldn't get I would only want to do the newest gen Mustang, and I can't get a GT for my price range.
Well, what did you say your
why
price
not-
range was?
Whoa,
Unless
Solid
it comes with a
axles
rear
have
stick.
character.
that's not true. Just what was your price range again?
Like 25, and I can push it maybe to 27, 28.
Oh, you could get that.
Yeah, especially
you
now
can
with
get
the model
5.0.
year swap
You
over.
can get a 5.0 GT with that.
Yeah.
Just barely, but you can.
Ox has the 5.0.
Ask us how we know that because someone in Wichita just bought one
Yeah.
for that
Someone
price.
traded in one.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, that
Yeah.
again, that's also because one of the fellow Oppo knots, Jay is a car dealer now, so
Okay.
we're getting those sweet auction prices.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
So
Make
what-
friends with the dealer.
Yeah.
Get you awesome stuff.
Yeah, so, these are my reasonings behind the WRX, is 260 horsepower, easy bolt-on, short shift, and a blow-off valve, which I have to do a blow-off valve. The biggest cons to the WRX are my wife doesn't like it because everybody has a vape and a flat brim hat.
Yeah, I can't see you with a vape and a flat brim hat.
Yeah, I'm a corporate
accountant. Yeah.
I literally work at an $8 billion oil and gas company.
Hey man,
Granted,
I'm an insurance agent and I wear flat brims on my off time. Okay, don't worry about
yeah.
it.
Well, I wear like
I don't have
kitchen because food.
I don't have a criminal record either, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well, it's funny because there's another guy in my group, like in my accounting group, that has a 2011 WRX, the hatchback, and I love that thing. So I wouldn't be the only person with a Rally Blue.
I had
WRX.
a 4-hour meeting with a bunch of fucking CPAs today. Jesus.
Yeah, we're the worst. Except I don't have my
It's
CPA, so
actually-
I'm not the
8895s and 101Js, and I was like, crap. I mean, just leave me alone.
Yeah, I do internal control. A little bit
A couple
different realm.
a couple of weeks ago, somebody moved down the street from me with 2 WRXs. They have a bug-eye hatch and a current sedan.
I
And,
love
if you
that
go-
guy.
If you go to
They're
Autocross, you can smell them
They're
because
both World Rally
Clutch.
Blue too.
clutch every time they launch. Clutch.
Oh.
This is why El Camino's the answer.
Do you have a mullet? I can't see anyone. Am I the only one with something on camera, or am I just have a bad connection?
No, you're the only one on camera.
I'm not on camera.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Okay.
I see one, like when I pick my phone up, I see one guy on camera.
Mm.
Dude
Yeah.
with a beard?
Yeah, it's a beard and a hat with an A on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we
Anaheim
suck.
hat.
We suck, but hey, that's my team.
Yeah,
I don't know who it is.
My name's Cole. I'm a host on the Burnout podcast on Slipstream
Okay.
Network.
Nice.
I'm in California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What
But
about
I'm
a
not in
base C6?
That, I think
Yeah,
that would
no.
that would make WRX insurance rates look like a joke.
what are,
Actually,
what are,
that's not true.
yeah.
That's not true. I'm an insurance agent. Corvettes aren't that expensive to insure.
I guess it's always that's the problem with the FRS is that it's always owned by a 22-year-old kid, even though it's basically a Miata.
There's very few factors. Okay, a lot of people have the notion that it's the car. It's not really the car. It's the driver. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
when you're
almost
25
every single FRS I've seen has a rebuilt title on it.
they're awesome at autocross, man. They're fast.
Yeah.
They destroy an autocross.
But everyone
Well,
takes the crappy Prius tires off of them though and puts real rubber on them.
So
They're
my
competitive.
thought behind
RE71.
Damn
thought
right.
behind not getting an FRS and putting a turbo or a super on it, was that I'm gonna buy one for about $20,000 for one that hasn't been like tuned that bad, and then dump $5,000 into it, or
So like
more than
your
that,
car-
probably
so
$6,000.
like a
So,
car
I'll
mount.
end up at 26. Yeah. Well, so I found one at Porsche Nashville 2 or 3 weeks ago. It had 13,000 miles on it. It was red, TRD wheels, TRD everything, and it was traded in on a Panamera. And
That's a jump.
yeah.
That's
So-
low.
So it was a guy who just I knew the car was treated well, and it had 13,000 miles on a 2015. So that was one I was like, I would totally buy this if I was ready for it right now. But I probably would have spent let's see, it would have taken me 2 months to make at least one mod, 3 months to make a second mod, and then within 6 months I'd spend another $5,000, and I'd be at $25,000 for a FRS. Or for 28, I can get a 2017 or 2018, 2017 WRX loaded with the sunroof, leather inserts, full nav screen, everything.
Well, I'll say
That
this.
is so cheap.
I'm still going with Fiesta ST. That's where I'm going with all this.
Well, you're a
or-
little biased.
mhm.
Well,
I'm a little biased, but
that's a different price range, though, entirely. Fiesta ST is, 12 grand now.
For a used
And
one.
also, if this is just like a secondary car, just to like fuck around with, like why not get something fun? Like why get something
Well,
practical?
it's
in
gonna be
front-wheel
my-
drive, like
It's going to be
Fiestas?
my daily, but not daily.
Yeah,
Okay,
have you seen the-
no,
have you
here's
seen
what
the
you're gonna do.
Seen the
Go
crash
full
test rating?
Tavares. Get like a
Fiesta?
10-year-old Aspen.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Well, it's going to be like my daily, so I just wanted something manual to drive around every day, but I'll still have my Lexus to take the dog in or to take road trips in. My Lexus with 311,000 miles to Atlanta and back, without
What
even
I'm doing,
thinking.
get a manual TSX and just and dump a bunch of money into it.
Those are pretty cheap now, aren't they?
Yeah, I paid 11 for mine for
That's not bad.
Doesn't the TSX have VTEC and all that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
VTEC, yo.
Yeah, that,
VTEC, bro.
yeah, that's my daily now. I picked it up about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was I'm on APR's mailing list. They sent me an email the other day that their stage 1 pack is now $750 for the EA 888 Volkswagen. It's 300 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. It's just a reflash. It destroys your clutch, but you could run with the big boys. It's a 11-second car. If you roll on people, that's fun enough. Where I live in Newport Beach, everyone's got a fucking Carrera 911 turbo.
Ooh.
So it's I see supercars on a daily basis. I'm really jaded. But my GTI just no one even cares. You roll on them and bye.
No, I got the
Yeah,
perfect
I
one.
live
No,
for my
I have the perfect
Oh, go for
answer. You need to buy a Volvo V70R with the Spaceball for $8,000, and then put the remaining money into a savings account to pay for the repairs. So I think that's what you need to do.
Here's where my money's at. My money's in a Hennessy 1000 Suburban, the twin turbo V8 Suburban.
Oh my gosh.
The drag radials, it's faster than the
Drew
GTR.
Hennessy,
Well, I know it probably. I probably would send them $100,000, and I'd never actually fucking even get the car. But the thing is that it would be so hilarious. The guy next to you is, in his Porsche, and you just roll down the window and be like, "Hey, my kids are in the back. Bye." And that's my idea of fun. There's a good video of the Hennessy Suburban beating a GTR at their local drag strip. Pretty entertaining shit.
Yeah.
So that's a 10-second, 6,500-pound SUV.
One problem. It's Hennessy. I don't do any tuner before I go Hennessy.
What was that?
Wait, what?
They broke up a bit there.
I think you said any tuner before
Hennessy?
Oh, any tuner before Hennessy. Okay. Well, I mean, you just work on the cars. What do you know?
Like, my point is like I have no actual real world experience with their cars. But like my point being is they do make a twin turbo for the 6-liter. What's up, the LS2? I think.
Yep.
And it's 1,000 horsepower with all-wheel drive and drag radials, and the right suspension tuning. You've got a big car that goes real fast. And to be honest, like, that stupid ass show where those guys in like Alabama like drag race on the street? It's always like the same idiots. There's the farm truck, right?
Yeah.
they're from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't mean to be a dick. I didn't get the state right, but like that farm truck like twists itself sideways and like would beat like these. And there's two dudes. I'm pretty sure they're one dude. And there's the guy that calls himself Asian, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't get. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway,
they're idiots.
Well, but that truck's pretty sweet though, with like the old school bed cover and all that. Like, I think that's more interesting than just some rich guy buying a car, or God, the fat Asian mafia that we have out here with like the guys with like full carbon fiber everything on their M5s. And I don't know how any of those guys get their cars to pass smog in California, because you can't do shit here. So
I think the word is
know a guy who knows
bribing. Yeah, a bribe. Like,
no, I can take my car to literally the scariest part of South LA, and you can pick it up a couple hours later, and it will be smog. But
if you can pick it up and it's not stolen.
No, but your car will have the tires will be all burned up, and 150 miles were put on the car. It was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but you just are getting your car smog.
Well, honestly, that sounds worth it from what I understand about getting cars smogged in California.
Oh, the People's Republic.
Yeah, my mind boggles on the fact that there are still car enthusiasts in California. I guess the weather makes up for all the other bullshit, but yeah, it's crazy.
Wait a second, dude. You're the old. You're an old jalopnik guy.
What?
Oh, Louie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. I recognize that shit from back when it was cool, like 10 years ago.
Yuli's always cool. Get with it, bro. He helps people fix their Volvos. Yeah.
VR6.
True fact, Yuli did help me fix my Volvo earlier in the year, so shouts out.
Mm-hmm. And he kept my Volvo on life support for a great long while I went through head gaskets. So.
Oh man.
When my V70 is working, I absolutely love it. But when it's not working, which is often, I still love it, but not nearly as much.
Mm-hmm.
I have an LS400 that won't die.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend with an R, and he is like the most handy person I know, and he is the steering rack. He has changed everything on it because he bought it with over 100,000 miles, and it's a finicky little beast. He had boost leaks. He had lots of problems with it, but it hauls ass. It hauls the mail.
There's a guy
God knows anything else.
There's a guy I go to school with that has a 2000 Volvo V70R all-wheel drive that his dad bought new, and it has 310,000 miles on it. Pretty much
that's it?
nothing is original, but it's still
What a
kicking.
legend.
I bet you it's probably kind of like duct taped together though at this point.
I mean,
So my
cosmetic
LS400 has 312,000 miles on it, and we're about to give it its second new catalytic converter of its life, because the light comes on, and then it'll go off in about a week. So it went on 3 weeks ago, and then we had to take it through smog, and it passed with the light off, and then the light hasn't come on since. But it's the transmission, the engine got had a timing belt break on it, a bad part, put a bad part on it, started it went. But the transmission, the lights, or like the headlights, well, I guess not the headlight bulbs themselves, but the interior, both the catalytic converters, the last one got replaced at 298,000 miles, and this one's getting replaced at 312,000 miles. And it fixes itself. And then my parents have a RX 400H, which I absolutely adore. It's an all-wheel drive RX, which fixes all the problems that I had with my wife's. And it's got 350,000 miles on the original battery.
Holy shit. Wait, what year is it?
2006.
Oh.
No, wait, is
Okay,
the RX is the RX the stereotypical like soccer mom Lexus I'm thinking
Yes.
of?
Yeah.
Um,
So we've got it, and it pulls too. Because it's
now-
all-wheel drive, it moves.
now, did
You'd
they
be
put
shocked. That's the
did
funniest
they put on
part.
a battery tender?
One of those beat my M3 when I had my E36 M3. Got smoked by one.
The RX is no joke. It literally, I mean, people don't know it, but like my wife's 350, it has 286 horsepower, and then the RX 400H, it's all-wheel drive, but since it's electric, it's instant torque with like not a CVT, but like an electric transmission basically on it, like basically like a boat.
Got the electric gear cover.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a torque converter.
Yeah, it's a torque converter, so it's not like a real CVT, but it's got that same like
in between your automatic transmission and the final drive, you have a torque converter, and the torque converter on that car is electrified.
Yeah.
And so
The rear
Yeah.
diff on that is electric also. It's weird seeing a rear diff without a
well,
drive.
it's not going to be it's not going to be air like a Jeep. So it's going to be electric.
Yeah. So the front wheels are driven by the gas engine, and the rear wheels are driven by the electric. And the electric only kicks on when you need it. And you can
No, it's all wheel drive, right?
No, it's
Well,
basically NSX in reverse.
No,
Yes.
no.
Maybe?
This thing is all wheel drive, but it's got it's hybrid, and so the battery is attached to it applies power wherever it goes. You don't have an extra electric motor in the back of the Lexus. That's not how it works. It's not like
Well,
it's
this one, like,
I mean,
Thank you very much.
I'm drunk, so
Yeah,
no,
it's just,
it's okay.
it's just,
That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for, kid.
It's
yeah.
just the diff with the two orange cables going to it. You know, that's basically all it is.
No, it's
when you're driving it pushes the power directly to the front wheels. Like when you're just like cruising down the highway, it's all front wheel drive. And then like if you get on it or if it senses it, it'll put power to the rear wheels via the electric engines or motors.
It applies power through basically the hybrid drive system that Toyota basically pioneered with the Prius.
Mhm.
And Prius is an Atkinson cycle motor. It's a whole different thing. What this one is an electrified version of a Camry, and they pump the power through the torque. So that's how it works. And I'm not saying this is bad.
okay, I've been
It
drinking
works.
too much to understand that.
It works really good. It's okay.
Hold on.
good.
Is this better or worse than the engine code discussion? I'm trying to figure this out. Like it.
Well, we're talking about hybrids and Lexus RXs. So
I don't know, but we can
So
My
actually
mother
understand
likes
Ike.
Lexus.
Definitely worse.
Hey, I drove one of those up with a girlfriend a long time ago. We went skiing, and it was her dad's car, and he was like, okay, if you want all-wheel drive, you press this button in the center console. I looked at it, and I was like, EPS button? You like to start? And he was, yeah, and I was like, Bob, that's not all-wheel drive. And he was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, all-wheel drive is not traction control, okay? And he was so buttered because he was an attorney, and he bought this thing, and he thought it was all-wheel drive, and it was just front-wheel drive. Whoops.
All-wheel drive SUVs just make me sad in general.
You know what, though? In the snow, they're not that bad. As long as you drive them with your right foot down the whole time and don't stop. Don't stop.
Well, like in the wet, the RX 400H is fantastic too, and it rains a lot here in Tennessee. We get more rain than Seattle, basically. We just don't get it as often. But like in the wet, it's awesome, and I love
get it like all at once. Get it all at once.
Yeah, we'll get 2 to 3 inches in a day.
I'm headed to Seattle next week. Going fishing in the Columbia River, man. Gonna catch me some salmon.
Yeah, so the RX 400H is fantastic, and I love doing yard work in it too, because like so my dad has a 14 Tundra Platinum. It's a 2.5 ton, no, almost 3 ton truck, but when you pull it on the grass, it destroys the grass because it just buries into it. The RX 400H, even with the batteries, is a lot lighter, and the tires are actually a little bit wider, like they're more low profile. So you won't destroy the lawn, and you can go do whatever you need to do. Use the hatch that automatically opens for you to load stuff in, and it's fantastic. It's like one of my favorite Home Depot vehicles.
That's why tractors have really narrow tires, because they're heavy. They sink down until they find traction.
Yeah. Well, that's the
How
thing
did
is
this
I don't
turn
want to
into a
tear up the
Lexus
lawn
commercial exactly? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because the Toyota guy came on.
That's right. See, now it's making sense. Like, oh, I've had.
Well, it's not like the Volkswagen guy tried to get you guys all to buy a Tiguan. Okay, so I know my limitations.
Why would you want to do that to someone?
My niece turned 16. All she wanted was a Tiguan, and I'm like, first of all, you're not getting one because that's a brand new car. And I tried to explain to her how it was just a version of my car, but it was jacked up. And then she was like, well, a bigger car is better. Taller is better. And I said, no, the taller car rolls over and you die. And she kept looking over at her dad, and her dad's a firefighter, and he kept nodding his head going, well, he's telling you the truth. And like, it was all of her world had gotten wrecked. Like, she just thought big, tall cars are the safest. Well, not always, and
not so much, yeah.
So it was funny though, watching 16-year-old girls just hopes and dreams just get crushed.
We
had
not
a
harboring any
VW
animosity towards 16-year-old girls. I can tell from your days as a 16-year-old boy. Not at all.
Oh my god, dude! At 16, I was killing it. Those were the good old days.
See, my observation with tall vehicles was kind of quashed by the Honda Element. Because, like, if you look at it, it's, like, really tall and everything, but the ground clearance is maybe an inch or two more than...
Well, it's because you could stick the world inside the back of one.
Yeah.
And they're fun to chew on.
Like, all the extra height is at the top. If you look at it, like, if you look at the bottom, all the, like, whatever it is at the bottom is maybe an inch or two higher than an Accord of the same generation.
I was going to say, isn't it basically a Civic or an Accord powertrain with a body on it?
Yeah.
It's basically an Accord, yeah.
I miss my very tall Chevrolet Trailblazer, the greatest vehicle ever built.
Hey, Trailblazers rock, dude, with the Atlas.
Trailblazers rock.
Yes,
Atlas is one of the best straight sixes ever made besides the CR6. Atlas rock. But I worked for the fire department, and my boss had one. And when one of our trucks got out of service, he'd let us grab his Trailblazer and take it out. And even on street tires, that thing was badass in the sand. It just would have power. It just get up and get out of the way. Love that.
Atlas LL8 is the best.
L88. Damn right, dude.
LL8. Yep.
Hey, the Ward's
291 horsepower.
The last version.
The one I want is LLR, which was the 3.7 straight 5, which was the oddball that GM made for a couple of years there.
And the Hummer
Yeah,
H3?
Wasn't that the Colorado, the Canyon?
No, the straight 5, dude. Oh, okay. I work for the fire department. We had those, and they got stuck. They sucked, and we missed all of our S10s. And then they got rid of them, and we bought Toyotas for years. And now they're buying Colorados again because they have a least one. That 5-cylinder, dude, it sucked, bro. Trust me. It didn't work.
Because it's not a trailblazer.
It
Well,
didn't.
it depends on which one it was. But, I mean, the motor wasn't well loved. The LL8 was. The LLR was not. But,
So,
yeah, they're folky.
Engine
anybody know
codes?
why anybody know why every GM engine starts with the letter L? Every single GM engine code starts with L.
I assumed it was for
loser.
True.
No, Chevrolet, because the guy who started it, his name was like Louis Chevrolet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some French guy.
Those are
Louis
all
Chevrolet.
that's my take on it, and I'm gonna go get a drink, and you guys discuss it, bro.
I've already had a bottle, so go ahead. It's one of those bomber bottles of a 9.5% raspberry stout.
And you're getting
My
drunk.
boss is French.
Yeah. Let's drink with strangers on the internet. That's really what the title of this show should be: drinking with strangers on the internet.
Yeah, but half the people that come up on your shows are underage, so they can't drink.
This is true. It's a weird problem I have. Yeah, I think everyone's of age today. I'm not quite sure.
No. Sorry.
Some of us have to work too early in the morning to be drinking, right?
Yeah, I'm on vacation. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm late. I'm going to go in late tomorrow, so this isn't too much of an issue. So, because I get to make hours. Lost my train of thought there. Oh, so we have a request from Honda Bro for a topic of discussion. He wants to know what everyone's favorite breakfast cereal is, or what the best breakfast cereal is, to be more accurate.
Oh my god, that is a shit post right there. Full of shit post bombing his show.
Well, it's Honda Bro.
Yeah.
Just how he is.
Well, I asked that question to Mark Hardigree one time. What's the best cereal for enthusiasts? And
Hardibird.
Yeah, he was actually pretty stoked about that question. He's talking about like going into like a good high fiber diet to poop more and lose weight and go faster or some crap like that.
Yeah, some crap like that. Yeah.
I got the answer.
Oppo's favorite cereal is obviously Honey Bunches of Oats because
I think
Honey
it's actually
And
beer.
Cookie Crisp.
Beer is a cereal of Oppo.
Cookie Crisp.
It's made of wheat and grains.
Cookie Crisp.
I nut Cheerios, it's what I rock.
My
Nut
favorite-
Cheerios,
I got
my-
the answer for the Honda Bro. Championship White is the only color the Integra Type R was sold in. So obviously Wheaties, the breakfast cereal of champions, is the only answer.
It was only sold in Championship White in 97 and 98.
Shit.
After that, it was yellow and black in the U.S.
Shit.
There's a very, very, very clean Integra Type R that frequents a car meet that I go to at a baseball stadium. And
Is it
it's been
stolen?
Oh, it's been stolen
Oh.
7 But it's absolutely mint, but it's been stolen 7 times.
See, I was thinking about importing an Integra Type R when they become legal in 2020, but I know it's going to get stolen, even though I have a lockable garage.
Okay,
Like,
so-
somehow somebody is going to get in my garage and steal it.
Okay, so I need to run this one by y'all. So I have an Integra, and I had an idea today that I should get all the locks replaced with locks from, like, a different manufacturer, like some of the locksmiths would have. So that way, like, you can just use, like, any 90s Honda key. Is that worth it or nah?
I would just put a fuel cutoff switch in it. That's kind of where I would go with it.
I got the cutoff switch for the starter. So I got that
I had
going.
one in my M3 right by the seatbelt, so when I buckled it, I hit the switch, and it was perfect.
You said it was an E36 M3 you had?
Yeah,
I've got
and
a Prelude donor you could try with. But I think you and I are on opposite sides of the country.
Yeah. I'm in Texas.
Road trip.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia.
You can get yourself a little thing that screws onto your battery. It's like a little brass plated, screw, and all you do is spin it off, and it disconnects the battery, and you have to pop your hood, but it's foolproof because all those kill switches and all that kind of stuff, when you wire it up yourself, and it's underneath the carpet where you spill your coffee and all that kind of bullshit, it's gonna fail on you. I was a valet for a long time, and every guy who had a Porsche was like, "Hey man, it's got a kill switch." And I'm like, "Oh, I mean underneath the firewall right here where I can feel it?" And they'd be like, "Oh shit!" And they were always in the same spot, and it was a joke. But the cool thing about the one that's under your hood is there's no way to start it. I mean, unless the guy has a pack of gum, and he can like shove a bunch of the foil packets in there and fire it up, it ain't gonna go anywhere. Period.
Yeah.
But,
I know there's one idea I saw on Oppo actually. There was like some dude, he put like 5 kill switches all on the dashboard in plain sight, but there's like a certain combination you had to flip them to start the car.
My buddy who has a F100 with a turbo 300 straight 6 in it. He has the flip up switches aircraft style, and you have to turn them on, in a certain order, or else it won't fire up.
Yeah.
Basically, if you don't flip on the first one, it doesn't electrify the fuel pump. And then if you don't flip on like the third one, then it doesn't turn on the power to like oil. So it's just not going to work.
Okay, since we're on this topic, then I'll bring up a point that as you may or may not know, I have my Audi motor going into my Volvo project, and I was thinking about how I'm going to wire up everything today. And I do think instead of like bothering with a key or anything, A, because the car looks like crap, and B, because I'm lazy, I'm thinking I'm just going to wire up switches and just bank on the fact that no criminal in the D.C. area can probably drive a manual and will want to steal that thing, and we'll figure out how to like hit all the switches in the right order. Do you think that's good enough, or do you think I should actually wire up like...
That's good.
First of all,
that's good enough as long as you keep the paint looking like absolute crap.
Yeah,
the thing is the only thing people want to steal is something they can make money off of. And they can't make money off of stealing an old Volvo.
This is true. Especially
even if they steal it, it's not going to get very far away.
I mean, you need a battery thing, because like someone said, like, they'll sell it for parts, but if it's the engine to do the battery thing, they're going to see that there's an Audi engine in there, and they're just going to be like, the fuck is this shit? And they're just going to be confused.
People steal Escalades. They steal big trucks. They can take the wheels off of. They can take the seats out of. They steal old Hondas. They can swap all the parts and swap all the parts. That's where the money is. And so stealing some dude's tricked out freaking Volvo is just like you're just gonna get caught. Like, oh hey, there's an ATV on the Volvo. Oh, I mean, how hard is it gonna be to spot that motherfucking thing? I mean, come on.
A Volvo with a Swedish flag painted across the entire
it's got a freaking prancing moose on the fender.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I love my prancing moose. I love my prancing moose.
Yes.
When I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, a Mitsubishi Outlander Sport was stolen from the hotel parking lot.
Why?
It sounds like that guy.
No offense, the keys were left in it. Okay. I mean,
it's the only way
it
they
sounds
sell
like the guy that stole the parts for that race car in California. You're like, well, there's only, I think it was like a McLaren. They're like, yeah, there's only like 3 of those in the entire world, and everybody who owns one knows the other person. It's the same thing with the Mitsubishi
it's like
Outlander.
When you steal, it was like the guys that stole a NASCAR hauler.
From a hotel or something.
Although, the quote unquote carburetor fuel injection system that's on the top of a NASCAR motor is worth $10,000-$15,000.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're talking about a 850 horsepower, 9,500 RPM V8 that can run for 5 hours full out.
So it's better than a 13B and an FD RX-7.
It's better than a Toyota LMP1 car.
Poor Toyota. Oh man.
No, can do 22 hours. They can do 22 hours now.
Oh shit, that's right.
23 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I was at a couple of races where Nissan was running that front wheel drive thing, and it was like, this is cool. You know, like it back in the old days where like, hey, this fucking thing's steam powered. You know, like it was cool, but IMSA with the rules now, they don't really allow for a lot of innovation, and it's all about.
I think that front wheel drive car is actually in the Lane Motor Museum.
That
That would make
GTR
sense
LMP
because
car was
Nissan in
so
Nashville.
cool.
It was
Yeah.
so super dope because all the Volkswagen guys were like, front wheel drive.
Well, get this: when we did the Nashville Oppo tour, we did the basement tour with Jeff Lane, that like the guy who founded Lane Motor Museum, and this engine we heard this engine start up, and it was back in the area, and somebody's like, oh yeah, that's Nissan's like heritage collection. They rented out space from the Lane Motor Museum, and turns out the engine we heard we knew it was something, and it ended up being an Infinity Prince, or the Infinity Prince, like the. So it was like a $3 million car sitting down there, and they were about to take it on tour, but we heard it start up and running while we were walking through the basement.
That's a V8 with velocity stacks, right?
I think so. Yeah, with the yeah. It was
velocity stacks. I'll be honest. You put them on a rotary, you're like, good. What the hell? You know. So the thing about the velocity stacks, you slap them on a VR6. You see it all over fucking Instagram in Germany. Everyone's finding a fucking crash, whatever, just taking the VR6 out of it and putting it into an old Volkswagen. They slap velocity stacks on it in headers, and it sounds like Chewbacca gargling hammers.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah.
And they sound awesome, but because of the rod angle and the lip cape. I don't know if you guys the VR6, the push rods are literally 11-inch long, I think, something like that. Like, it's retarded. So it's not going to rev. It's just not going to rev. So they make a bunch of torque. They max out about 350, 400 horsepower. But when you put it into an old car that weighs 2,500 pounds, that's enough. So, but they sound awesome. So that's one thing about that, the velocity stack. I mean,
I absolutely adore our VR6 A3. It's a spectacular car. One window rolls down, but it rolls down very well.
That's the 3.2 liter, right?
Yes, it is. It is a 3.2 liter with the Haldex 4Motion, not Quattro all-wheel drive.
Hell yes. That was so weird. That was so weird when Audi. Okay, the reason they went with the Haldex for the VR6 was because the engine is turned the wrong way. So
it is. Oh, it's turned the super wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they had Haldex. And
is it like a 45-degree angle or something?
It's no. Well, no, you mean the cylinder angle is 15.
Yeah. It's. Was it transverse, or is it on the wrong side? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, no, it's transverse, and so they went with Haldex instead of the Audi, because Audis are the other way. So
yeah.
So it runs like an angle gear.
It has half shafts that come out of off of the transmission. So it's simple, but it's not Quattro. Quattro.
Go ahead.
No, Quattro means. Quattro will get you out of being stuck. Haldex means your car sort of rear-wheel drive sometimes.
A week after we bought our A3, it's a 2006. We bought it in 2014. The rear diff went out to the tune of $3,000, which we didn't pay for.
In the U.S. in 2006.
That was the first year. Yeah.
It's a Quave. It's a Quave, and it's See, Haldex is this is weird. Volkswagen farmed out to a Swedish company to do Haldex, and they already had Audi Quattro in house. So it was kind of weird that they did that.
Well, I mean, it's based off of the R32 Golf. It's the same exact thing. It just has Audi on it. Has a bit more doors.
Right?
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's more or less.
I'm sitting here. I don't mean to like be incredulous. I'm just sitting here like listening to this, and at a certain point, I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute! I got to host this podcast. Like that's my job here is like to make sure we stay on topic and all that. I'm just having a grand old time listening.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
Switches put switches to put their other switches.
Well, no.
Switch.
So a lot of people that look at Volkswagen and Audi Group have wondered why they didn't just bring Quattro down market to Volkswagen instead farmed it out to Haldex. And Volkswagen Audi Group is the second biggest car company in the world. Why the fuck wouldn't they just do it in house? And so a lot of us don't know. We don't know. But the cool thing about Haldex though is that how it actually works, and it's super cheap, and it's lighter weight than Quattro. So there are some trade-offs. But it doesn't have like the wet clutch in the middle. It doesn't have the torque vectoring. It doesn't do the same thing.
I missed the engine code talk.
But
DHAAA could do it in theory.
It's fascinating stuff. I'm just sitting here going like, if I was listening to this, would I really know what's going on? I mean, I get it. You know, the Haldex stuff it's fascinating. I would love to do a deep dive episode on this, but I'm not sure the Opposite Lock group chat is the time or the place for this. I don't know. Maybe not. Toyota guy and Volkswagen guy, you guys fight, and then the rest of us are going to go talk more about breakfast cereal, I think. So all of you were wrong.
I like Cheerios.
Yeah. No, the proper answer is French Toast Crunch. Come on now.
The Aldi brand of Cocoa Pebbles. not actual Cocoa Pebbles, but the Aldi store brand.
Aldi is the best.
I know!
Trader Joe's.
What Aldi?
Trader
What
Joe's
is
sells,
Aldi?
Austin
In
Mini
here.
Trader's Bros.
What is Aldi?
Best.
Aldi
It's
is
a German grocery store.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's
It is
like
pretty much.
super cheap though. It's like all in-house brands, and like they make you put a quarter into the shopping cart just so you promise
And
that
bring
you
your
bring
own
it back.
bag.
Yeah, and it's very like German and clinical and all that.
They also own Trader
Sounds like
Joe's.
Loblaws.
Yeah.
Here. That sounds like Loblaws in Canada. Same thing. How the cart had to put it in. Similar concept.
Get it out, man!
Up here.
Are you having
Yeah,
a
Art.
stroke?
Whataburger.
My Wi-Fi is garbage, so
Join the club.
yeah.
Ooh, here's a good one.
Apparently, the $30 a month I pay for my Wi-Fi allows me to have streaming
Okay.
video.
All right.
Jesus.
Okay, wait, hold on. So if a Toyota Camry was a breakfast cereal, would it be just plain old Cheerios?
Yes,
Yes.
that's coming from Toyota guy.
No,
Yeah.
it would be Count Chocula.
No.
Why?
You have to defend
No.
that crazy opinion. Come on now.
Okay, because
Hot take.
Yeah.
the hot take on Count Chocula is on the surface, it looks affordable, but what you actually get is something that just turns your milk brown, and you can't find it in the parking lot.
That's the that's the Corolla, not the Camry.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Okay, I drive down the freeway, and like I'll be sitting there driving along, going like, okay, I'm locked in. Like Camry. They all have 275 horsepower. They're all like the V6 SE. They're all grounded to the ground. But you know what? I'm like, they're just everywhere. It's just a brown bowl of freaking cereal. It's lame.
Well,
Buy a Buick Regal, you know?
They want their car to run.
Well, that's so much money. Counting won't approve of that.
A Buick Regal, in all, is the Aldi brand of Count Chocula. Come on now, that's what that is. Like,
is there an Aldi brand of Count Chocula?
Aldi is just Trader Joe's, but everything is about to expire. Look it up.
Pretty much.
Well, see. What happened with Aldi is that there was two brothers. So there are two Aldis in Europe. And one of them operates in the U.S. as Aldi, and one of them operates in the U.S. as Trader Joe's.
No, okay, that's sort of right.
Oh my God! Bring back the engine code talk. Oh my God!
Family that bought Trader Joe's a long time ago, before they expanded just out of California. I worked there for 5 years, so trust me on this. The same guys that own the family, he's right. They decided to go and do another concept in America where, like, you don't have any shelves. It's just like boxes cut open and all the shit in them. They might be there next week. They might not be there next week. It's all private label stuff. And then other stuff that they bought cheap is going out of code. Same thing that Trader Joe's has always done. Aldi is just gone a little bit down market. So because now a lot of people think Trader Joe's is like fancy. Which is retarded if you've ever been to a Whole Foods. Holy shit, that place is expensive. Fuck. Oh, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
There are no Trader Joe's in Richmond, so.
Virginia? Really?
Yeah. Well, maybe in Virginia, but not in Richmond.
You know what? Oftentimes the only reason there's not a Trader Joe's is because you motherfuckers have those stupid blue laws about booze and shit. And they won't open up a store unless they can sell you a bunch of cheap wine.
Well, see, that's weird because in Maryland there are Trader Joe's and you can't sell wine in Maryland in a store. But I do know there are some Trader Joe's in Virginia, just not down in Richmond because Richmond smells funny. No offense, but like if you drive,
it does smell funny. I was in Richmond today. It does smell funny. I will give you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, you know what I find funny about all you guys that live, over there, is that you have opinions about other states. My state is so fucking big, like it takes me like a week to drive out of it, so I have no opinion about that.
Wait. Texas Hoppo?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit, it's like being in Texas. Like I was at the HEB in Austin one time, and we got attacked by a bunch of birds, the grackles. What the fuck is going on, Texas? Like, why are you guys all shooting those things with guns? I don't get it. Super pissed off.
You just described Texas.
Yeah.
Well, no,
there's like 4 cities in Texas, and everything else is grass.
Nah, Austin's weird though.
Oh no, it's not. It's not even grass. It's just like dirt.
That's West Texas you're talking about. They're kind of like a.
They're just dirt.
It's like a bunch of dudes just walking out of their house going, "It's hot," and then getting into their truck and driving to the local bar.
It's like dirt and cattle, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still better than Oklahoma.
Oh shit! You guys ever been to Montana? It's people just driving around drunk in pickup trucks, and they're like, "Hey, I want to go fishing." And you're like, "Okay,
yes,
all right, yeah, I like fish. Trout is delicious."
It's the same thing in rural North Carolina. Same exact thing.
Yeah, but rural North Carolina has decent weather.
But wait, don't you guys have the ocean though?
Yes.
Yeah, we have the correct ocean.
Oh.
Yeah,
the ocean.
They have the Outer Banks.
Oh.
And this time of year they have European college students working every single shop there.
This is true.
My name is England. I am from Austria. And would you like to try on t-shirts? Yes, I would.
Right now.
I was like, you try on a t-shirt. Extra
If
small.
I didn't already have a German girlfriend, I'll be there right now.
That's
Yeah,
can she cook? Can she cook? Because German food is amazing.
Yes.
Not very well.
Oh.
Hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
Come on, I can fry schnitzel and make spatzel. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you got it solved there.
We'll
Mm-hmm.
figure it out.
Well, since we're talking about terrible states, next month I'm going to be doing a little road trip, and I'm going to be spending, some time in Pennsylvania, which is one of the worst states in the union, and then Ohio, and then Indiana.
Oh.
So,
Ohio.
Before I go to Chicago and spend some time in, the food mecca where they have all the good, deep dish pizza and Chicago-style hot dogs. So I'm trying to find out something to do in Ohio and western Pennsylvania, and I don't know if there's anything to do in those two states. Indiana,
Air Force Museum.
Yeah,
Mr.
right
Regular.
Air
I know, I
Force
tried.
Base.
Yeah,
try.
catch a Pirates game at PNC Park.
Okay, it's got to be
you gotta talk
something
to
I can do with a
Regular. Have him on the
2.5-year-old. That's the thing. Got to be something I can do with a 2.5-year-old.
What about Grandpa's Cheese Barn, Ashland, Ohio, the best tourist trap on Interstate 71?
Grandpa's?
Go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and go through the Air Force Museum because it is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
of all
Dayton's the place to go.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
do
a
that.
good one.
Dayton is scary?
Go to the Air Force Base in Dayton. That's all
Just
you
go to
The
the
way,
Air
you
Force
said,
Base.
the way you said that is like there's a big but. It's like Dayton is
Yeah.
scary, but
But the Air Force Museum is there, yeah.
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 They have a dope water park.
We got a water park where I live. It's called the Pacific Ocean, and it's
It's cold.
It's too cold to swim, man.
First of all, the waves out front today were 75 degrees. That's bull and bullshit. Look it up, motherfucker. It was 75 degrees in Newport today.
But see,
I was told.
is that the air or the water? Is that the air temperature or the water temperature or
No.
yes?
No, that was the water temp, and it was like 80 plus today air temp.
why is everyone from
The
beach
California
is
so
pretty much
defensive
chucky.
about
Here they-
California?
Yeah, here the air temp was like 99.
The
No.
beach here is pretty much chocolate milk.
If it
Oh,
was,
you poor people. It was 106 degrees here today, and that was
if
not.
it was 99 degrees right today, I wouldn't be here. I'd be asleep, like drowning in a pool of my own sweat.
I was
I know,
taking
probably
pictures
is.
of my car. I was taking pictures of my car, and then I was drinking beer.
It was 98 degrees with 70% humidity today.
Yeah, that's our
That's
problem.
about how it was here.
Been having the humidity. Hold on. Fuck is
It's like, hey, wait a minute, you might think it's July or something.
No. Okay, houses on my block cost $1.5 million. All right, this is why we pay to have no humidity. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
No, and to clarify, I don't own one of those houses.
So what you're saying
Right.
is it's
I've
time to
never-
rob
I've never
you.
been-
Okay.
I've never been west of Tennessee, so I don't know how no humidity feels like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. The humidity.
It's pretty wonderful.
Oh, holy shit, it's 85% right now. California, that's not what I paid for.
Mm.
Bullshit.
Time to
Yeah,
move
that's
out.
that's very East Coast, right there.
No, everybody.
That's very
everybody I know,
Georgia.
everybody I know is like, dude, the weather's been crappy lately, and I'm like, well, it's been that hot, and they're like, yeah, but I'm like sweating like a whore in church, and I'm like, oh, the humidity, and it's like, you take an extra shirt to work. No, you're like,
You just described every day south of like Maryland.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I was in the district today, and
you lost the war too.
yeah,
True.
that's true.
No,
See-
people around me lost the war. I don't care.
Yeah.
I keep telling that to but people are like, oh, the flag, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? And they lost.
My favorite Confederate flag is the one that's all white.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's the last one they use. Yeah.
Not savage.
See,
Oh boy. Woo.
I live in an area where there's so much it's like historical stuff with the Civil War that it's just like
Oh, you guys know they're breaking all the beating up all the tearing everything down.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's kind
like
of
the giant like the giant crater and stuff is the next town over from me and all that.
Yeah, I'm sleeping in a house that was built in 170 years ago right now.
My house was built 5 years ago. Does that count? I'm bad with history.
My house was built in 1952 because there wasn't any shit here.
Yeah, so was
Yeah.
mine.
Idiots.
This house barely survived the Civil War.
My house was a school built in 1938.
house was
That's
cool.
actually really neat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
My
actually-
house
yeah,
is a house that I live in.
Nice. Oh, snap.
So
Sounds like
next,
I'm the only one here with
Well,
an apartment.
you know what? My house is house in the middle of the street. Maxwell house.
It's actually in Nashville, so
Ooh, wait.
interesting fact.
next, so one more car related thing.
Mhm.
Like, have you ever driven a car
Oh,
or
who's
like test
hosting
driven a
this
car,
show?
or bought a car?
Yes, I have driven a car.
have driven a car.
All right,
I've
so,
driven a couple.
so
In the nude.
you've done that, and then you start noticing the car that you. Every time you see a car that you've recently driven or bought or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
like you pay
Yeah, it's
attention.
actually a psychological, like, it's actually a psychological phenomenon. Because
Yeah,
your
like-
mind wants you to confirm that what you did was right. So you'll start, your mind in itself, it'll start noticing stuff like that. So like if you buy like a, whatever, you could buy a freaking Ferrari and you'll all of a sudden start seeing all the Ferraris. It's
Yeah,
like,
like
it's the
today-
weirdest thing.
Yeah, today I saw like 6 or 7 second generation TSXs.
Mhm. See,
I
I
pay
rode in a
attention-
second generation TSX today.
I pay attention to more Trailblazers than I do Volvo V70s. It's because I think in the back of my mind, I know I still want another Trailblazer for some.
You miss your Trailblazer.
yeah.
I deeply miss the Trailblazer. It was the best.
Wait, didn't you just sell that Trailblazer? Weren't you on the show like a year ago?
Well,
like,
no,
trying to sell-
Well, I crashed the Trailblazer into the librarian at my school.
Into the library, like into her herself, or
No, into her champion stoplight. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's calling from prison.
GTA.
He
Your
was
minister
trying to-
has,
But it's Canadian
trying to
prison, so he's got a
solve-
phone. Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was tried as an adult.
Yeah. So
Your
yeah, I
prison
was at
sentence is not saying sorry for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
I was at a stoplight in beautiful Cary, North Carolina on October 19th, 2016. And I decided that I was not going to brake at the stoplight, but rather I was just going to drive into the back of the librarian at my school's Toyota Camry. She immediately got out of the car and started profusely crying, saying that she was responsible for the accident. I went with it, and then I got a check for $5,800 in the mail, and I was pretty happy about that.
Well, now we know where Camry dents come from.
Yeah.
Pretty
They
much.
come from Trailblazers.
Oh, you know, a podcast is a great place to admit to insurance fraud.
Sure. I still got charged with the $238 failure to something charge from the state or from the city.
Failure to yield.
Yield.
No insurance
yeah.
adjuster's ever going to hear this anyway. Come on now. What's the
No
odds
one's
anyone
gonna
in the
hear this.
insurance company?
Only an agent.
Yeah.
Okay, whoa. I'm an insurance agent, so back this fucking thing up a little bit. So I can context.
Calling you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. First of all, insurance agents have nothing to do with the claims process. It's a wholly separate thing. It's like divorce, like Caitlyn Jenner and whatever that
Bruce.
chick she used to be married to, whatever.
Bruce.
Yeah. So you don't have any, and it's separated on purpose. So the claims adjusters are a whole different breed of weirdos. I don't know how anyone would want this job. But anyway, go right ahead.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah, so I thought about buying another Trailblazer after I got my Trailblazer check, and then Mother's like, "Why would you want to do that?" I'm like, "Because it's the best car." Either way, I did not get the Trailblazer, which is
Well,
a
they
shame.
aren't like littered all over the ground. They didn't sell that many of them. That's why they're gone. That's why we have the fucking Acacia or whatever that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, GMC makes the worst SUVs, the fake ones. They're crap.
I mean, they're the same as Chevrolet SUVs.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like literally.
My point is that like they went from Trailblazer to that thing. Like, yeah.
Is
the
there a
Trail-
GMC version of that Trailblazer, or was it just
No, it was the
Envoy.
Envoy. The
Envoy.
T360 platform is crazy. It was the
There's like 8 of
Trailblazer, the GMC Envoy, the Saab 97X, the
The
Isuzu Ascender,
SSR.
the Buick Rainier,
Isuzu.
and this SSR.
And wasn't there a
The
Isuzu
SS
version as well?
The
Yeah.
Isuzu Ascender, yeah, which was only the long wheelbase one built in Oklahoma.
But the SSR though was a modified version of that chassis.
Yes.
Because I believe it was a little shorter.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
still a
a little-
GMT.
it's a little
GMT
shorter, not as
360, but
Still the GMT 360.
The Trailblazers were dope. The Alice made them awesome. Okay, but anyway, we were talking about some sort of insurance thing. That's what
Insurance thing. So, so I crashed into the car, I crashed into the Camry, and yeah, she started crying. Her daughter, who goes to my school, started playing the trumpet to try and calm us down, which was weird. Yeah, this is strange.
Well, the brass section always called me.
Yeah. And we're literally in like a gas station because we pulled into a gas station, and there's like people looking at us. It was a Sheetz, which is the best gas station, and
I know, I'm jealous.
That
of
is
you
the
assholes.
correct answer.
Sheetz and Wawa. Fuck, we got you should see the crap we have out here. You're lucky if there's like a Subway built into the gas station.
every gas station in like the Southeast will have like 9 things. But okay, insurance. So we filed the claim with the insurance provider. She tells her insurance provider, she has State Farm, that she wanted to take full responsibility for the accident, even though that it was technically my fault. State Farm said, fine. And then my mom called our insurance provider, Erie, and our agent said, yeah, we've never heard of anything like this before. And
Whoa, hold on. Let's back the train up a little bit. So this person.
Wait, hold on. Someone's got to leave. Who's got to leave here?
Talk about an inferiority complex.
it was me.
All right.
Okay, so
Say
this
goodnight.
person who.
Hey, I'll see you guys.
All right.
all right, goodbye,
Bye.
stay safe.
All right,
It's
good
Oppo's.
night.
Yeah, you guys want to find me on
We love
Oppo's,
you.
like, Resident Toyota guy on Oppo, and that's about it. So
All right.
Like,
hit me up.
subscribe, and follow.
Yeah, subscribe, follow. You can find me at opposite lock /Oppo /Toyota guy /oversteer at officeseer.com. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Oh my
Doug.
God.
So what
Okay.
about
Bye, Doug.
All right, so this person told, according to whoever, they admitted a fault at the accident scene, even though it
no,
was your fault.
no. They didn't admit fault at the accident scene, so I was still given the ticket. She told her provider, and State Farm. She told State Farm, and State Farm was like, "Okay, sure, yeah, we'll totally pay for the damage that someone else did." And like my mother and I were floored, and our insurance provider and our insurance agent from Erie was like, "This is insane. Like I've been doing this for decades, and I've never seen anything like this."
This is Canada,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Well, here's the problem: is that her insurance provider, even though she admitted fault, is going to have to actually make the claim. So the claims adjuster is going to be like, "This person is fucking retarded," and it's going to deny the claim.
No,
So
this
that-
happened back in October. This has already been settled and everything. It's a closed case.
This is why we pay too much for insurance.
The government is like total bullshit.
Okay, check this out. I had a client, right? And he was like riding a road bike down the side of the road. Him and his buddy. They're riding like their little track bikes, but they're tight pants. And they're riding down the side of the road, and they started joking around, and one of the guys on the inside like punched the other guy. Like, "Oh, you're a dick," like said something funny or whatever, and he punched him. And the dude lost control and drove his bike straight into the middle of the road and got his goddamn head run over by a lady driving a Camry. Dead. Instantly.
This is an
That's
uplifting
fucked
story.
up.
Yeah.
Fucked up, okay? Now, the guy who, they had a police report, and the guy was like, "We were horsing around, and I punched him, and he crashed, and this other lady ran him over." All right, we insured that lady the insurance company still paid $500,000, the maximum of her liability limit, to that guy's family, even though she had not a goddamn thing to do with that accident. And what should have happened was the guy who punched him that caused him to fucking fly out in the street and get run over and killed. It should have been him. But the insurance company still paid out. So it's fucked up. It happens a lot. And it pisses you off. But they just don't want to litigate. They don't want to deal with lawyers. They do a lot. So, it's what it is.
That's probably the most, grown-up conversation we've had on one of these group chats. So,
sorry.
Bravo, sir, and shame on you. No, but it's.
So, can I tell a good story? One time a guy died, and he had $2 million of life insurance, and I got to go give him his wife, 2 checks for $1 million. 2.
Oh, that's rather neat.
That's only semi.
2 checks that were for $1 million, and I was like, here you go.
How big were the checks?
They're normal size. I got them from the bank. It wasn't like she won the lotto.
That's what I feel like. Every check should be like the size, like in proportion to how big it, like the winnings is. Like, here's $1 billion. We're gonna have to get a fucking
How do you make a $1 million size check? Like what is? What is that?
I think it's like one of those billboards.
So if you win Powerball for $500 million, your check is literally the size of a semi truck.
Yeah.
You're like, there's
That
you hire
seems impractical.
I'll just take this down to my local bank.
No, you used a little app on your phone and you take a picture with it. Like you got.
That would be fun.
Then you got signed it back.
Well, not only that, but then some guy on the internet is gonna steal your freaking identity from the shit written on the check.
Also true. Well, I feel like we've gone a bit off the rails, and we're getting kind of late here this evening. I don't want to keep everyone up too late, so this kind of went off the rails, and I lost a bit of time here, so I apologize for that for everyone. But it's been rather interesting chat, I have to say. So
my fault. I apologize.
No, it's what happens here. So let's see.
That's what happens when you get the burnouts all up in your podcast.
In the spirit of the lady who got rear-ended, I would like to say it's all my fault. That's all.
Well, I'm going to let everyone kind of plug their stuff.
Lady.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm going to let everyone kind of plug their stuff here. So we'll go down the little list here. If I can figure out how to actually get the list pulled back up on this damn tablet that I hate. So we'll start with this alphabetically. So Cole, where can people find you, and what are you going to plug?
VR6 on Instagram and Twitter, BEARRRSX. And then also check out my podcast. We're on the Slipstream Network with the Burnouts. Meet a couple of friends, and we've sparred back and forth like the rest of the guys, making jokes. But we're just all trying to get Porsche to call us up and say, hey, drive my new Cayenne. I'll fly you out to Aston. So this is what it is. Go for it.
Excellent. Dylan, what do you got to plug today?
My Instagram is the same as Oppo. It's a crazy nut. Go there for some great die-cast cars. My Twitter,
I love die-cast.
I have an it is mostly 118 stuff.
All right.
Yes, it's not big, but it's nice. My Twitter, I haven't used that in ages, so don't tempt that. And my Oppo is a crazy nut, and that is a base. Go there for great shit posts and and juke stuff.
Yeah. Shit post and juke stuff. Juke stuff is part of this shit post. I dread to tell you.
I love shit posting.
Yeah. Yuli, what's going on with you, my good man? Where can people go to find you and all that good stuff?
Oh man, I don't even have none of that stuff, really, man. I don't have no social media, but I always encourage everyone to check out Live and Let Diecast. Our Instagram thing is pretty rad, and it's such a rad little place, man.
I love it. Dude, that Volvo was dope.
Yes, sir. So, which one was this one?
Oh, that was sweet. That Volvo was with the Hot Wheels custom looked sick.
Oh yeah, this one dude, he's one of our mods. He slammed a V60 Polestar blue roof rack, everything on this little tiny diecast. So cool looking.
I have on myself a Hot Wheels the V60 myself, my collection.
I'm trying to make
model.
Dude, I saw a Regal Lolo today on on Dayton's, and I was stopping to take a picture of it, and it got bumped out of the way by the owner. He was like, "Leave me a car alone, dude." And I was like, "Oh man, you got a fucking Lolo Buick Regal, son." And he had he was more gangster than me, so I had to let it roll. But
out gangster.
Well, dude, okay, you not gonna know when you're not in your hood, bro. I wasn't in my hood. I was at a conference. So I was it was in my hood. I haven't got no homies here, and I was but it was just like the one from Training Day. It was black, and the cool part was he had just shaved the fuel filler. So he had just shaved off the fuel filler because I saw it buffed in. And I was like, man, you just got rid of the fuel door because he was shaving off doors and stuff. It was fucking primo. If you're in LA, gotta respect the lowrider. Pretty good shit. So, but yeah, dude, he was letting in this freaking the fuel filler. I wonder where he put it up. I guess it was in the trunk.
So Jack, what do you got to plug?
Well, I have my phone plugged in to my phone cable, which is helpful. Keeps it charged.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, I do mad tweets at BlakeSlayer _ on Twitter, the twitter.com. Opposite lock, I'm there kind of time. I just posted something about Acuras last week and why most of them are boring. What else am I? Where else can I be found? I repost music on SoundCloud, but SoundCloud is dying, so there's no point in plugging that.
Not if you're cold in Minnesota.
Yes, that boy.
It's not like somebody here just bought an Acura a couple weeks ago. No.
Yes, but it's a good one. It's one of the good ones.
Little Yachty.
Yes. What else can I say about myself? I think I'm going to start writing more often, probably really late at night, mostly about geo-trackers. And,
you haven't been hospitalized lately, have you?
I'm sorry?
You haven't been hospitalized lately, have you?
I was hospitalized in January when I drank the antifreeze, but that's the last time I was in the hospital, which is good.
Okay.
Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I posted about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm Jack. I do the cars, and
Yeah.
yep.
All right, Michael, your turn.
Alright, you can find me on Instagram at elspectro29, ELSPECTRO 29. I just bought my TSX a couple weeks ago. I'll have an Oppo review of it sometime next week, probably early in the week, Monday or Tuesday. And hopefully see y'all sometime soon.
All right. And then, Will, you're saving the best for last, I guess.
All right, you're going to regret this. All right, so if you're an American and you want to move to a socialist utopia, join the U.S. Army. Free healthcare, free food, free education. Can't beat it. You can follow me on Opposite Lock. All right, not y'all.
Didn't you live in Washington State too?
Yeah, I lived in Washington for a while.
So that's very socialist program in the most socialist state.
Oh, you can't beat the Army. Lennon would be proud of the Army.
Were you at a? Well, wait.
That's going to be
were
the
you
next
at
T-shirt. Lenin would be proud of the Army. So.
Louis?
Nice.
Yeah, Fort Lewis.
Yeah, my father lives out in Seattle, so I've been all through the I-5 corridor through Lewis McCord.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And Tacoma, Washington, the worst smelling city in the United States by far.
Oh yeah, true.
We're wrapping stuff up. Quit with the
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's been like 6 hours and we're finally wrapping stuff up.
Yeah, no. Well, we started it 2 hours ago for everyone listening, and it's it's been a little bit of an adventure here. So thanks everyone so much for joining me. All of you go buy a T-shirt. That's everyone listening. Everyone who was on the show. So that's how we're gonna wrap this up today. So trackmonkeyapparel.com. Thanks everyone for coming on and joining us. I'm gonna sign off after I say goodbye to you all off air. So. All right, everyone, go have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for listening. Go buy a t-shirt at TruckMonkeyApparel.com. They're still up for sale. I really do appreciate everyone who has. It's very heartwarming to see the purchases come through. Sale ends Sunday, so make sure you get your order in before then. So thanks again, everyone, for listening. Have a good night. Have a good evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is there. Thank you so much for listening. Please be safe out there.